If you don't know who I am, I'm Wes Galber. I do Final Fantasy XIV guides. This is a side channel, but recently I decided I wanted to be better and be better for myself and all that, and so I figured one way I would want to do that is with exercise, and I wanted to do a bit more than just do the exercises. The exercising. This is unscripted, by the way, if you couldn't tell. So I decided to get Ring Fit, and I'm going to be doing a log of my journey just to try and really incentivize myself on continuing beyond just the exercising of it. Exercises my creative flow, my talking, all that stuff, and just gives me more beyond just the exercise to hopefully improve me all around. I mean, if you don't know, as I was saying, I'm a Final Fantasy XIV content creator, so, or at least most of the time I am. So, my job is very sedentary. If you've been in any kind of office job, you know how those are. Now imagine being at home and not just work from home, doing office job. You can't get up to go make yourself lunch, take a stretch or anything. And I'm very bad with taking breaks usually. I do try and take breaks to get drinks, stretch around a little bit, do a little bit of exercise. But also, the amount of exercising I do was also very little. It would be like maybe a couple sit-ups and push-ups every day, and not actually every day because, well, I had nothing to incentivize me beyond, oh hey, it's also a video game or anything like that. We're just really enough of a want to do it. So I figured, Ring Fit, some friends talked to me about it, like, hey, Ring Fit's good. I've seen Super Lewis and his Ring Fit builds and how he goes with it, and so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna go for it, and here I am. Getting to the actual game for a moment, I skipped right past all, like, the setup and just went right to the first stage. There's setup, there's introduction stretches that they do, and, like, all the setup of inputting, like, your weight, and a bunch of other things, your height, etc. And it gave me to start a difficulty of 14. I don't know if that's, like, high relatively or what, but starting with a 14, it seems like a pretty good starting point for me, and I'm surprised that it's been pretty good. I have to limit myself of how much I do every day just because I'm very out of shape with this job and all that. But it starts with a 14, so it's not bad. This is the tutorial level. Nothing too major you really need to do. Teaching you the basics of using the Ring-Con as a controller for sucking in stuff, jumping, quote-unquote, shooting blasts of air, and how to run, and also even do stairs differently. And so, it's just a very basic tutorial level to run through, collect medals, which medals are going to be a completion thing you have to watch out for. And every stage ends like this with a victory pose, which is light enough that it really doesn't hurt to do, because it's like really quick to you sit down and then go stretch up. That gets hard at the end of a session. It gets rough. So I want to talk about these pulse checks here. I don't know how good these are because, like, when I do it, like, even if I just even, like, push my thumb in, even just a tiny bit extra, just too hard, it goes all over the place, and it's like, wow. So I don't know, like, is my heart actually at 157 a minute, or even close to that? Or it's all that stuff, so it's like, I'm not sure I'm trusting those too much, and I'm pretty sure even before that it says, hey, don't, like, take these as completely accurate, these are estimates, etc., etc. So it's like, it was may have been lower, I'd say, and maybe I was just pushing too hard into the Ring-Con or something, or not pushing hard enough. Either way, but that first stage, yeah, it wasn't that much. The second stage is where things actually start to really heat up. I was breathing pretty heavy after the first stage, just because again, sedentary lifestyle of office job of working YouTube. Making videos is, you have to sit at, I'm playing a video game all day. It's not, and it's, as much, even though I have goals in mind of, I want to get this recorded, that recorded, I'm writing scripts, I'm voicing, I'm editing, all that is done in my chair. So it's like, I'm not getting all that much exercise. I would go for walks every now and then in the summer. So I think that this is doing a lot better for me. Also, here I was trying to figure out if there was a way to walk backwards. There is not. You will keep going forward, so if you miss a jump, you missed that jump. Yeah, so some little bit about the ring Kong. Pushing it in just to, like, even just to select, like, hey, I'm gonna select an optioner. Every air blast I do, you could see the character, like, the character mimics your movements really well. Like, I'm talking about the character in the middle of the screen. On the left, that little, like, blank-faced one, that's Tip. Tip is nice. I like Tip. He's cool. But he's just there to show you the tutorials of how you should act. When you ever see my character actually moving, I'm doing those movements. So anytime the character would push the ring con in, I was actually pushing the ring con in itself. And here's the battle system. So it's a bit of Pokemon, but also reverse in that super effective is the same color. So this enemy was blue. So I want to be doing blue attacks to do extra damage to it. But doing any attack will be plenty enough. So I'll go back to talking about the ring con later. So yeah, so use different skills to exercise. So because it's blue, I'm gonna start with squats, and you won't see me. I realize that a lot of this it loses the magic because I don't do face cam or anything like that. I don't have a camera to show, look, I'm actually doing it. I can assure you, I am actually doing this. I will be doing all those movements, and as you watch the character in the middle do the movements, that's pretty accurate to how I am moving. Like, it might not be going as deep as I go or as high as I go. I'm pretty sure it's a rigid up and down motion it's programmed to do. But when you see it move down, I moved down. The speed it moves back up, that's how fast I went back up. So I went down slow, went up real fast. Down slow, up fast. Which I probably should be doing it up and down the same speed roughly, but I keep going up fast. And this is where the main difficulty of, where the difficulty comes in, is because you'll notice that it gave me, I'm pretty sure, 14 reps of that to do. Oh, ab guard. This I'm not, maybe I'm doing it wrong or something, but ab guard doesn't really seem to do anything for me besides just, hey, you're guarding. Because it even says you shouldn't feel it in your arms, feel it in your stomach. Also, I am actually taking that long. I'm not pushing it in. I'm like, okay, let me make sure I have it in place. It waits for you. If it detects even a little bit of movement or something's wrong, it will pause the time and just not go, which is really good and helpful. But yeah, so every time you see the character move, I am doing those movements. I should probably be doing things roughly. Oh yeah, I was talking about difficulty. So it gives me 14 reps of this. I'm pretty sure because I'm on difficulty 14, that's why I'm getting 14 reps. And also, this is way harder, especially because I actually am squeezing it in roughly that far, probably not as far as the characters pushing the ring con in together, which is the controller, the ring con controller. If you've never seen it, it's the ring the character is holding, you are holding in real life. And it's pretty good stuff. But I'll get back to that. So, yeah, there's 14 reps, and then the last few you're meant to go faster, like, alright, here's speed up, go in, out, just to, like, the last push. I don't know if that's meant to be harder or easier. For me, it feels easier, but it could be meant to be like, oh yeah, you're going real fast, so it's harder. I'm not sure, but okay, so, talking about the ring con, I have it in my hand. Even just push, every time you want to blow air, or suck in air, as you'll see me do, like that, I blew air on the hearts, I'm blowing air to break boxes and hit stuff in the background. That's me pushing the ring con in. And anytime you see me point it downward and push it in to do a jump, that's me pushing it in and holding it in. So even just walk and dashing, you have to actually walk faster. The character moving, I am running in place. So even just moving through the stages is enough of a workout. But as for the ring con itself, even just small little pushes in on it is actually pretty tough to do. It's not simple. It does, just a little bit of push, it does work your arms out a little bit. And then pushing it in and holding it in, like some of the exercises do, that's even harder. And as you do more and more through the day or through your session, it gets harder and harder because your arms start to get tired. You wouldn't think it. You'd think, oh, this looks super easy. The ring con's just a gimmick. Okay. No, after just a couple minutes of using this thing, I'm extremely convinced that taking the ring and just doing this, Oop, I just bumped the mic. I'm sorry. I'm going to edit that out. But putting the ring up over your head, I'm actually doing it right now. Putting the ring up over your head and just pressing it in, I can't do it right now because my arms are so sore because I did, this is day one. I did 2 days back to back just to I want to be doing eventually 5 days a week, but I'm probably going to be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, weekend off, and keep that going every week just so that I'm not overexerting myself. Using the ring con even just for anything is really hard to do. And this is one of the few exercises that does not use the ring con. So you sit on the floor, extend your legs, make sure you're in that position.
Okay, let's go.
I keep getting that position wrong, but again, watch the legs of the character. That's roughly how I'm actually moving my legs. So it's really putting you in exercise. Both the ring, pushing in the ring, and doing these are actual exercise. So it's yeah, of course it's doing a lot. It's not just a toy ring, but the ring really does help. It feels really nice. I don't know what kind of rubbery stuff or whatever it is.
Good fight.
It feels like it has a rubber outside coating to the ring itself in addition to the handles. And then on the inside is a metal flexible band that goes back in. But it's pretty hefty even without the Joy-Con attached. Because you have to attach a Joy-Con to it to help it read your movements. Which is no wonder Joy-Cons die so much. They stuffed a lot of stuff into this little thing, and it really works. It can tell even the smallest movements.
Drop your hips.
And you heard there the the ring is actually called Ring. And he mentioned the estimates of the activity level, blah blah blah. Yeah, and it's surprising. People tell me how good this thing. Yeah, here's the heart rate. I'm gonna go back to this thing. It was so bad that I think I pushed too hard, and I don't like this. I'm gonna keep doing it just to show, hey, this is what the game says my heart rate is. I'm pretty sure my heart rate went down according to this one. So I might have been holding it in less, more, and you can see it just randomly fluctuated there. Yeah, it went down to a minute. So it went slightly slower. No, but yeah, the ring, it's surprising. It's really surprising how good the ring is, and how much harder it is you'd think it would be to, deal with. So it's a really good exercise that you really wouldn't expect, and I'm already really glad I got this. But let's talk about this as a game. There was an entire intro that I skipped ahead as well. Just like I said, I just went through all the intro stuff to get to the first stage. The main thing is, there was a dark ring. You went and broke it, and that released a giant exercising dragon into the world who wants to take over. That's it. And there's even titles now that, hey, you did a bunch of things. So that was... Air Blast is when you push in the ring during gameplay to shoot a ball air at like boxes as a background. So I did that 100 times already at this point. And then instead of like a quit button, well, there is a quit button, but it's not just a quit button, it's a cooldown button. So at the end, I'm gonna skip ahead when it gets to the cooldown part to do at the end of this episode, end of this log, but they do differ. I'm gonna stitch in one of the exercises at the very end of like, the cooldown at the end is not always the same, but this is all that I did just in the first session on Thursday when I first started. So now let's move into Friday. Oh yeah, the post cooldown. So there's post-exercise tips that they give at the end of every day, so they do, like, again, try and give you more than just, yeah, it's a video game, and there's a lot of the other modes that are involved too, but they want to give you more tips. They really want to incentivize you. They don't want to judge. If you come back after, like, quitting for several weeks, they're like, welcome back. We know we've been away, but we understand that it's hard to do, and we're glad you've returned. Let's have fun today. And this I really like. You can have your Switch, as long as it's in sleep mode, have your system tell you, hey, we want you to play, or you set an alarm for yourself, so it makes it way easier. And the way it does it is, the red ring con, at least I think it's just red ring con, the home button will start glowing blue on, and like, pulse, like, hey, on and off, like, hey, you set an alarm, come back. Yeah, now let's go to Friday. Okay, so, now, today I'm gonna end up this part I'm actually gonna start at the very beginning to show the re-onboarding. And these are the controls. So it's like, it doesn't seem like anything big, but even just moving the controller does feel like an exercise. Yeah, so after the first day, I was feeling a bit sore, especially after I started cooling down and resting. Soreness started to get me. When I woke up Friday morning, I was really sore. Like, I could barely, like, move without actually feeling something hurt. And I said it with the game, hey, I'm actually really sore. And it's already asking me, hey, do you wanna make the game harder? I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick to 14. In future, I'll probably bump it up, but to start, I'm sticking with what the game gave me. The game gave me a 14, I'm sticking with the 14 for now. It's giving me a good workout, making me sweat really hard. But even after the first day, so the first day was hard to get into, but hard on my body, and, first let's get dynamic stretching. The game always starts you with this, just to get you, this is the warm-up, so these, I think, are the same every time. Unlike the cooldown, this was exactly the same the first time and the second time. There could be more things that it will have me do in future. But last time it started with the onto my knees, then it went into heel stretch, etc. So I think this is consistent across all play sessions.
Just like that.
Which
is the back straightening stretch.
That's fine, but again, I'm only 2 days in, so it could be different. I saw a couple different exercises for the cool down, so it could just be I just RNG dictated that I got the same one twice in a row. We don't know though. We'll see. We'll see as the days continue on and I continue doing the log. After the first day, I was really sore, so even this was pretty rough to do. I did feel a little bit better after I did these, just to stretch out, and it made it easier, relatively, to actually do the exercise part beyond this.
you one more of each.
Also, I really like this music. It's enjoyable to just work to. And I do like how even Tip, if you forgot already, the guy doing all the exercises to show you how to do it. He's neat. I like him. I played 2 days in a row. I think I'm actually going to go into the menu. I forget. Also, I like this too, is like, hey, here's the story so far. Even if it's a very basic story, it's getting you back in that no matter how far you're gone, or no matter how long you're gone, you can remember exactly what the story is and all that. Yeah, so... Yep. Oh yeah, it told me about, oh, the voice changing. It's just... masculine and feminine. That they give you that option at the very beginning, too. So going into this, I was already pretty sore, but I still wanted to go for the goal of 2 stages again. Day 1 I did 2 stages, day 2 I'll do 2 stages. Monday I might do 3 stages if I'm feeling up to it. Because weekend, 2-day weekend, and then actually getting back into it, I should feel more rested and all that. I'm doing some of this recording on Sunday, the first part. Day 1 I had to record on Saturday, day 2 on Sunday, so today my legs and arms are feeling a lot better. There's still a little bit of residual soreness in there, but already 2 days in and I'm feeling a lot more rested up, so I think tomorrow I can go in, do a lot more. This one is tough in that it's all the the knee lifts, as they're calling it, that you can't just do a normal jog in place. You have to lift up really high. At least with how I set up the thing around my leg, because the game detects it by the other Joy-Con that you have in a strap around your leg. And at least for me, I have to raise my leg really high up for it to register the leg lift, so those stairs were already like a really hard thing to do first thing into day 2. And this is our villain. I'm sure the furry community is very happy with him.
Leave my partner out of it. This is just between you and me.
Like, look at this thing. Look at this thing. This thing gets a little repetitive quick, but I do like it. But this is our first boss fight, which is basically the same thing as a normal enemy at this point. I expect in the future boss fights, it'll be a lot more involving the RPG elements of the game. I haven't really seen much of the RPG elements yet. But there will be some at the end of this episode, or through this episode. The yoga, I was surprised with that. Not that it was like tough to do or anything like that, but that there's only 6 reps to it. And again, remember, my character's movements are basically my movements. I'm trying to go that slow. But the fact that there's only 6 reps to that made it extremely easy to do. So I think the yogas are going to be some of my go-to moves going forward. It'll be like, oh, these are going to be, I'm already getting tired. I'm going to spam yoga as much as I can. I'm still going to have to exploit weaknesses of color, but still. And this again, I was already sore going into the second day. So doing this attack again was extremely killer on me. It was rough. That's why the game really is going to emphasize going at my pace going forward, I'm sure, just because it does not want to build bad habits. It really does want to help you exercise and be good. And this is part of why I think the later boss fights are going to get a lot more complex and needing to deal with the RPG mechanics. He deals like 2 1/8 hearts of damage to you every hit. And some attacks he just does not attack. So, as you go forward, the RPG elements are probably going to really come into play. But because it's his first boss fight, it's, yeah, no, as long as you do attacks, as long as you're playing the game, you're going to kill him. And also, for as hard as doing all these exercises the first day were, doing them here, a bit harder. Just a bit harder.
Well done. Nice.
I think you can tell that, like, I'm going slower, especially with this one. I was going a lot slower than I normally would for that attack.
Keep it up. 3.
It really, really does put an exercise into you. I want to emphasize that. Like, if you yourself have also been looking at this game like, I want to be doing more exercise, but I don't think this would help at all. I'm still not sure what Abguard is for, besides just a defense for gameplay purposes. But if you've been thinking, I want to get this game because you want to be healthier, yeah, I think it'll help. This has been, with most of us being stuck inside for the pandemic, and also a lot of us having sedentary jobs and all that.
Good job. Excellent.
Even just a little bit of exercise is really good. And I think this is more than just a little bit of exercise. It does everything. It does your legs, it does your arms. It's trying to do your stomach. There's the yoga poses. There's so many different things it's doing. This is like a natural progression of Ring Fit. Like, Ring Fit did have a bunch of different things, running, push-ups, yoga. I think this is very much a natural progression of that.
Good luck.
Like, I also had Wii Fit, and I thought it was good, and I also had the Wii Sports Resort, and those were some decent exercise. But this is a level beyond, I would say, even just specifically Wii Fit. I think that I'll actually be able to, like, keep up with this one beyond, like, finishing the game, just because of how quality I'm already feeling it is. Maybe as I continue to play, I'll change my mind. But if you two were thinking, this is just a gimmick. No, this is actually really good. And we're still on the boss fight.
Air pose.
You know,
Slowly return to the starting position.
also, and I don't know if he's, like, supposed to be green or if yoga is just that strong, but my god, it does so much damage. But finally, after nearly 4.5 minutes of exercise, well, I guess it was only like 3.5 minutes between all the menus, he finally went down. Almost up to level 5, which we'll be seeing that soon.
Now turn your exercise into experience points with a victory pose. in energy from the ground. Release victory!
And it is at this moment that I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop here. Maybe I should only do one stage.
With the pad of your right thumb, as shown.
But I drank some water, and it constantly tells you drink water.
Please do not move your thumb.
Hello, alarm. It tells you drink water. Yeah, I don't think I was at 141 a minute. Because I think my heart was about higher pace than it was the day before. Because again, already sore, already tired out. Yeah, I'm watching this thing and I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna get away, of course. I'm gonna let him get away because I'm too tired to chase after him anymore. But I really did want to do a bit more. I didn't want to stop it after just one. Even though, again, the game does say, that's okay. It's okay if you stop after just one thing. You don't have to push yourself. Do things at the pace you're comfortable with just to make sure you stay healthy. And again, I appreciate that the game's going to really hammer that in of, it's okay if you don't do a lot. Just, we're happy you're here at all. I should have taken that. I should have taken that. It's like, I don't know if that's like, hey, we want to stop you after every world. It probably is. No, so it's like, it's... Yeah. Now, given that this seems... I don't know what that bottom icon is. I don't know if that's like a shop. Because I know there's going to be shops because they give you money. But if that's not a shop, I can do all of World, or the rest of World 2 next time. Also, it's level 6 and I'm only level 4. Ooh. Also, now I've gotten the changed look. I don't have anything else. I assume that's going to be something you can buy in shops, given gear ups your stats. Oh, no, it says they have 5 courses. So yeah, that bottom one's a stage. So I'm probably not doing all of World 5 on Monday. Or World 5, World 2. Holy crap, 1% complete for the catalog. There's a lot of stuff to buy. Now, so World 2 does already pick up the pace. It says it's going to take 6 minutes of exercise, roughly. Let's keep that number in mind. 6 minutes for this. Let's see how long it takes me to beat this stage. So we've already gone from the bright, colorful daytime stages of World 1 to World 2 here. We're now in a bit more of a swamp, or not a swamp, but a foresty thing that they're gonna intermittently give a lot more knee lifts. And through that knee lift, I got my level 5. And I got another skill, which is again where the RPG elements are gonna come into play in that as you level up, you get more exercises you can do. Also, keep in mind, the time is cumulative, so I started before the 5-minute mark. I started at like 4:30, I think it was. I wanted to stop the icon from beeping on my screen, because it's next to the level, you could see the button icon, like, this is how you get into this menu. So I'm like, I want to get through that, just, that's going to bother me if it's just flashing the entire time. So I went in quick to just get rid of it from flashing. It gave me like a second of rest. This view I like. Like it's not like super graphical fidelity of a game, but the views they give you are really nice to look at. And so let's try that new skill we got. It's weaker, it has an attack of 25 instead of 30, and it has a longer recharge of 2, but it's an AoE. You are gonna get AoE attacks to deal with multiple enemies. Which I also assume is going to take some planning with boss stages, in that boss stages will have trash mobs and boss fights. So you'll need to bring some AoE moves and some focus moves just to be able to properly handle the bosses better. So there's definitely gonna be a lot more game to the game going forward, I think. As for the front press, I find this one easier than the overhead one. Like the overhead, like I was having no problem doing this one, and I had it where it was telling me to put it, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I didn't have it as low as I was supposed to put it, but I think that would have made it comfier than how high I had it. I'm gonna have to, when I get back into it on Monday, I'm gonna have to check more. Like, hey, was I doing this right? Was it low enough? Ding. This one though, I'm definitely doing right. That even just standing in the position is pretty rough. But I mean, that's yoga for you. That's how it's meant to feel. I don't know why I chose knees to chest, just because I knew I wasn't going to be doing the whole... Maybe I wanted to just do a little bit on my legs, because I had done so much with my arms just then. Even though the yoga works on the legs a lot. But you can see, I'm slowing down a lot. I'm slowing down so much.
That was amazing.
And the stage is nowhere near over, because again, it said 6 minutes, so we should end at about 10:30. Luckily, the ring presses and pulls aren't too hard to do. They do, like, work the arms enough. And again, you can see on the character that it's recognizing those are the parts being worked every time you do something. And it's reminding you, hey, you could do jumps. And I did, and that's interesting that later on, I'm going to be able to jump over enemies. Not now, but later. Okay, this fight. This fight. I'm pretty sure this fight's going to be like 2 minutes long. Because look how much damage this does to it. That's normal to 7 damage. But look how slow that bar is moving. I'm pretty sure this takes me 3 turns. Which is more than any other enemy took. It might have even took me 4 turns. Actually, no, maybe it was only 3. This picking the speed up actually was difficult when I'm already tired. Like, normally when you're not already tired, picking up the speed feels easier. Doing it when you're already tired, definitely a lot harder. Also, he takes out an entire heart. That also shocked me there, so I was like, oh my god, wait, that was an entire heart. Do yoga! Do yoga! No, overhead press! Not overhead press!
Okay, let's go. Bend your hands lightly. More force. Great!
I don't know. Oh, if you didn't notice, I only just barely noticed too, because I noticed it when I was in gameplay, but I forgot about it. The music changes a bit when you're in the battle mode. Like, when you're at the menu selection, it's just the whistling. But you can hear like the techno or whatever it is, the robotic voice come in. It gets more intense when you're actually doing attacks.
Excellent.
Like here it goes, it's back to...
With your legs bent slightly, squeeze.
Oh wait, no, because we're still in battle mode. It's doing the robotic voice.
You've got this.
But you can hear the shift.
Careful.
It's less of a voice and more just an instrument now.
Bend slowly.
And then you could hear the shift again.
Slowly return to the starting position.
Going from
Forward.
non-attack into attack, the shift is much more clear. Attack into non-attack, a bit less clear. That was just one enemy, which has me fearing the next stages. Just because how long our battle's going to be. Being able to break and just stop or just go back to the jogging is nice. So, battles getting longer is going to be scary. But hopefully that's also going to be a show of like, hey look, you've gotten stronger as you've progressed with the game. So the fact that these battles are longer doesn't actually matter. You can still do these lengthier battles in the same amount of time, or not the same amount of time, but, and have the same post-workout result. And I would like to remind again one more time, this stage began at about 4:30. It is now at hitting the 10:30 mark. I only stopped for a little bit, like,
Rock is no
when you
match for
pause,
us.
the game does stop. Also, this is gonna be interesting if you ever have to do this mid-stage. Or not like mid-stage, but like mid-run and just remember it. I don't think so. I think it's always going to stop you just to do that. But I was like, oh, why are we stopping? And I'm like, oh, I see the end. I see the end. I'm going to get the medal. And then... sprint. No, get to the end, get to the end. I see the finish line. I have to get it over with. So that was a bit more than 6 minutes.
Goal.
Though it says it's about 6 minutes, not... maybe there's no room for 6.5.
Victory!
Now, so I'm... At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm more tired than ever. I'm having trouble even putting my hand on the IR camera. $158. That's my record. Yeah, 6 minutes, 34 seconds. And here's again, RPG elements coming into play, stat ups, but more hearts. So you can make more mistakes, or be less effective just by a little bit. But you'll still have to use the RPG elements, I'm sure. We've still got a lot of game to go. I think there's at least 8 worlds. I don't know though, I've not checked. But I know the game's fairly lengthy as a game.
Ooh.
Having a treasure chest, you have to like, oh hey, maybe you should stop, because like, hey, consider taking a break. Even if you're enjoying it, don't overdo it. But you literally just put a treasure chest in front of me? Ask me that after I get the treasure chest. Yeah, so that's already the pace World 2 is going to be expecting of you. And it's already getting rough. But alright, I'm calling it there. I have to stop here. So I got another 11 minutes. I do wonder if the calories burned are accurate at all. Like, at all. Because I know it says estimates, but how accurate are these estimates? because I am doing things as they are shown. I'm doing my best to be accurate, not half-ass it or anything like that. I see, it actually calculates the time you're actually moving your body. It's time with effort. So even though this second episode or second recording is a half an hour long, only a third of that I was actually moving my body between menus and all that. So it is actually taking things slow for you. You're taking lots of breaks in between to select from the menu, get into position.
Use your right hand to pull back the fingers of your left.
This one I could not tell what was going on. This is one of the few times that tips being super featureless made it a bad thing. Now I understand the position it is. You want to curve your hand outward so that your palm's facing away from you. Then grab with your other arm and pull back.
Bring yourself back
Ooh,
slowly.
yeah, that's actually hard to do right now. Arms, like I said, I'm feeling a lot better today, but I'm still a bit sore. So hopefully, after today, I'll be completely recuperated. And then I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday pause, Thursday, Friday.
Be careful.
That I was actually doing. I was letting my head fall forward because I wanted to emphasize getting my arm deep enough. I'm like, oh, I need to not do that. Put my head back straight and then continue the exercise. I like that calling.
Position your glutes as if you're going to sit down.
Or calling it out. Also, this one I did the first time. I think this is the only exercise from the first cooldown that I did.
Bring yourself back slowly.
Go away, alarm. Oh no, this one too. These last two exercises were part of the first cooldown, but those first two exercises, they were not part of the first cooldown, so those were new. So I do wonder how many different exercises are in the cooldowns and the warm-ups.
Stretch slowly and do your best not to bounce.
What do you mean bounce? Is it just like bounce in place because like you're fidgeting?
Bring yourself back slowly. Widen your stance. Place your hands
Was this
on
one
your
in the
knees
first one?
and drop your hips. Rotate your left shoulder in
I think I
and
extended
extend
too
your
far for this one, because after this my neck was a bit sore, not for long. So it was like, I think I might have pulled something a little bit during
Return to facing
this
forward.
part.
Now stretch your
When I
right
was looking
joint.
to the left, because I started with the right, and then I went to the left, and when I was looking to the left, I think I pulled something in the right side of my thing. Yeah, that's
Bring
the
yourself
cooldown.
back slowly.
Again, I'm probably actually not gonna stitch in the other exercises, given
Is complete. Good job.
we'll probably see them as we go on. But that's how every episode is gonna end, with the cooldown. And I'm worried that I'll get too muscular. No, that's not gonna happen. Muscles of being, like, big muscles take so much work, like, even just smaller versions, you're gonna get some muscles from doing exercise and all that, but getting more, yeah, no, that's not. One of these days, I'm gonna check these other modes, but yeah, other than that, that's the end of my first week of Ring Fit, or first 2 days. And I'm going to be continuing to do a Ring Fit log just to... Hey, I'm keeping it up. I don't know if I'll be doing as much commentary as I've been doing. But I do want to record all of it and show this is how much I've done for posterity's sake and for, like, further incentivization of... I'm doing more than just working my body. I'm working my voice. I'm working my creative prowess. Well, creative prowess, not really. But yeah, take care, and may the power of Anadid Hogsway waste to your gains.